So just while they are heating up, what I will do is I just section my hair off into 2 parts and put the top in a bun. I then split the back into 2 sections, left and right, and I always work from the back of my head around to the front. So my straighteners are ready. What I do is I'll grab a piece of hair and I go over top, around the back, down, and then I roll always away from the face. And just keep rotating a little bit loosely so that the hair can actually make it through the plaits. And then I just twist to give it a bit more of a curl. Usually I've got quite thin hair, so usually I can get about 4 on the lower section of my hair. So just between the plates, and as I'm moving down here I'm rolling as well. So the last one will go at the front, it's probably easier. It depends on the kind of curls you want. I go like semi-tight to semi-wide. Sometimes I might get like a really nice ringlet. I can't actually get them on like without a fluke. So we'll do the same on this side. Small section, about like an inch or 2. It will be different for people with thicker hair or even thinner hair than I have, depending on what size you want, what kind of curl you're after. Another like cool thing with curling with straighteners is you can kind of choose where you want the curl to start and where you want it to finish. So sometimes if I'm going to something that's not like too fancy or anything like that, or if I just actually can't be bothered but I don't want completely straight hair, I'll start midway down my hair or like really close to the ends of my hair to give me just the end curl. And you can do that with the underneath of your hair in general anyway, because you won't see a lot of the underneath of it. Cool. Now if I was going out, I would probably put a good bit of hairspray in these curls. I'd probably actually do it just after I've curled them to help them to stay better, but these seem to be alright and I won't mind the drop later anyway. Then I will break this one into another half just so that it's not, I'm not trying to curl too much at once, so it's just like a layer. And then I do the same as I did before, just kind of split it up a bit so that I can get to that section. So my hair, I washed it. I actually re-dyed it last night and washed it. So it's probably not curling. It's curling alright, but they're not as good as what I usually would get. you can use curling products to help with getting a better curl, but I don't mind them being quite loose. So this layer I'm pretty much able to do the same, so 4 probably either side is plenty. And depending on how you like your curls to sit, you can always curl them around each other. So I'll show you. So you can add them into each other there. It gives kind of more of like a stable sitting, a stable look. Cool. Within a couple of hours, just as I mentioned before, you'll get a bit of a drop. They just kind of lose their curl a little bit, but they sit a bit more freely. So depending on how long before you're wanting your hair to be, if you're going out say at 5 o'clock, you probably want to do it as close to 5 o'clock as possible. So, you know, do your makeup and get dressed and stuff first even, and have them done and ready by 4:30. But if you're just doing you like to have your hair curled as a daily hair style, then you probably won't mind too much of a drop by 5 o'clock. If you're working a full day, it would have quite a bit of a drop. Sometimes I think for me, I pretty much lose my curls nearly straight away. Now I'll break the top section into an evenish amount and flip it over, and then grab this section here and drop that on top too, and then I just kind of work my way over top of my head. I kind of like a messy kind of hair style with curling. I don't really, it doesn't really have to be kind of uniform, a certain curl every X amount of inches or centimetres or anything like that. I don't really mind, and I don't mind the difference in size of curls either. So some might be under an inch, some might be an inch, some might be bigger than an inch. So the thickness and the size of the curl doesn't always bother me too much. Now as I get closer to my middle part, or my side part should I say, sorry. I do try to be a little bit more careful on placement, just because if I don't, then I end up with curls where they don't sit properly. So if I was to curl it wrong, it's going to sit either on the wrong side of my head or fall in the wrong side of my part. I always straighten my fringe when I curl my hair, unless I'm going to pin it back and I need it to kind of curl back. I prefer that look with curled hair. And then this side, see, if I leave it, it kind of covers it. Kind of looks like I've just got the curls down the bottom. But if I'm going to curl it, because this part of my hair is shorter, it tends to only really curl down the bottom. Go over that one again. And straight on the sides. And then to loosen up my curls a bit and give them a better placement, I run my fingers through my hair. Sometimes I might clip my hair up and kind of tuck these curls back and into the ones that are down here. But today I'm going to leave my fringe out. But that's how I curl my hair with my GHDs. And you can have this as a going out hair do, or just a everyday going to work, or just a daily do. It's nothing fancy. You can do it up a bit by adding clips or hairbands, anything, like any hair accessories, or you can do it up. You can even like wear it down kind of thing and have it as a like daily look. But that's the end result. I think it's so much easier to curl with straighteners compared to a curling iron. I had a curling iron and could never curl at all, and then I got my hands on my GHDs, and I have been able to curl with them right from day dot. So I just watch other YouTube tutorials to show me how to do it, and I practice, and I will admit I did get a fair few burns, because you've got to be careful up here. They are really, really hot. They're still hot, even on the outside. So it's just making sure you get your finger placement correct and being careful when trying to curl.